Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about why I will not be purging my closet anymore. If this is your first time here, my name is Brenda. I am a content creator here in the YouTube space. This channel is all about fashion and style because style is personal and individual and it doesn't depend on trends. It's really about how each of us want to create our own art through our clothing. So today I'm going to talk about my closet. And I have even talked about purging my closet typically a couple of times a year when the seasons change and I need to swap out clothes. There was always something kind of, I don't know, made me hesitant to do it. And so I thought about it. Well, what does purge mean? And purge means to remove something violently. So it's kind of negative. And I thought maybe that had something to do with it. I mean, other than just not wanting to go through the whole process because it can be overwhelming. So I thought about changing my perspective. So instead of purging my closet, I thought about what if I'm really trying to create or curate a collection? What if I'm trying to create a wardrobe that is really reflective of my personality and I only want those things that are reflective of who I really am. And the other things that don't fit within that collection, then I'll be getting rid of those. So that's what I'm trying to do going forward. So I really want to approach my closet like I'm a fashion editor. What are the things that we're going to include in this collection, which is my wardrobe? So how did I get here? I see a lot of things that I like. I love fashion. I love style, and things just accumulate and they build up. And then before I know it, things are out of control. I'm hoping that this approach in terms of curating will also help me to really focus on only bringing those pieces in that fit with my collection. And it's an ongoing process. You know, I do well for a while and I fall off just because, you know, that's just kind of the nature of things. But nevertheless, I'm going to keep trying. Where do I start? I start by blocking off some time because it's going to take some time. And it can really be overwhelming. I know there have been times where I have pulled everything out and I got tired halfway and I ended up having a big pile of clothes on my bed at the end of the day. So I would suggest that if you have a lot of clothes, rather than take on the entire project and then get frustrated or overwhelmed in the middle of it, why not break it into smaller pieces? So on one day it's coats, on another day it's shoes or accessories. So that way it'll make it a smaller project, just in multiple steps. But the key is to make sure that you see it all the way through. If you have a friend that can come and help you, that's great too, because sometimes we get attached to our clothing. They have memories attached to them, or we remember how much we spent on them or who gave them to us. And it can be difficult on our own to really let go of some things. So if you have a friend that can help you with that, then invite them over and have it be a day. You know, put on some music, maybe have an adult beverage if you like, and the two of you or the three of you or whatever, you can go through all the pieces together. So how I start off is by having a plan. I know there are going to be some things that I keep, some things that need to be fixed, and some things that need to be donated. Donating is a great way to keep things circulating and out of landfills. It's also a way to support people that maybe are in certain circumstances where they need clothing. One thing I will say, as someone that has worked with organizations that have received in donated clothing, please make sure what you donate is clean and wearable. And it's not just junk that you want to get rid of that really isn't wearable anymore. Think about the person on the other end that's receiving it, that needs it. A lot of these organizations don't have the resources to clean these items. So I just want to put that out there as a friendly reminder. Some people sell clothes. I don't particularly want to do that, but selling is also an option. You can consign, or you could do eBay or Poshmark, or you can sell through apps like Whatnot. So that's an option as well. So how do you figure out what pieces to keep and what pieces to get rid of? The pieces that you want to keep are pieces that not only fit your body as it is today, They also should fit your lifestyle. They also should be in good condition or repairable. And they should make you feel good. You should be excited about the things that you wear. So it's not about how much money you spent or how long you've had them or any of those other things. It really should be, what are the pieces that you're actually going to want to wear? So I have here this rack of several pieces that I've pulled from my closet that are in question on whether or not I'm going to keep. So I'll talk through some of them so that you get an idea of my process. Okay, first of all, I love blazers. I can never have too many. This is a vintage Evan Pacone, and I like the color, and I also like the pinstripe pattern. So it's sort of like a masculine take, but in a women's blazer. But the issue is with this blazer that it's vintage and it's real wool, and I find that it's itchy and it kind of bites me. And so it's not all that comfortable to wear. So even though I like the way that it looks, this is going to have to go. This is a modern piece that I've had just for a few years, and I really like the color. I think it's great for fall. I like the styling of it. I like the faux leather fabrication, but I tend to get overheated in it. So even though it's a cute piece, it doesn't really work for me, where I am now. So rather than continue to keep it in my closet, it's going to have to go. Here's another piece, and I like all these pieces. I just like some more than others. And so the pieces that I don't like, they're going to get bypassed in my closet. So I might as well free up the space and put these out here in the world for someone that will really appreciate them and make the most of them. Do this. The problem that I run into is sometimes I convince myself, oh, it's really cute. Oh, okay, I'm going to wear it. But at this point, I haven't worn it. So I'm just going to have to let it go. Sometimes when I'm out, especially when I'm shopping secondhand, sometimes I kind of get caught up and I buy pieces. And then once I get them home, I think I'm not going to wear them. So this is one of those items. This is a two-piece jacket and a top underneath. And I thought I was going to wear the jacket. And I thought I'm going to have to get rid of this. And I'm going to get rid of these bracelets too. I liked this initially. I liked the collar. I thought it gave sort of a Japanese type of style to it, but I don't like it. So this is going to go back to the thrift store. And unfortunately, that does happen sometimes. For me anyway, where I kind of get caught up, the price is right. And then I try to convince myself that, oh, yes, this will work. And then it ends up going right back to the thrift store. Something else that I run into in my closet is duplicates or pieces that are very similar. Now, this doesn't mean if you still work in a corporate environment and you need button-down shirts, it doesn't mean not having multiples of those, because that makes sense when you're making use of them. But sometimes, at least for me, I have pieces that are very similar and I tend to choose one more so than the other. So here I have two short sleeve black knit tops. They both have a statement sleeve. They both have texture. Here's the challenge though. This one's a little bit longer. This one is more cropped. But I really like the texture and the sleeve of this one. So that's part of the process too. Really going through the pros and cons of each piece, but you don't want to get bogged down. And if you're not 100% sure, it is perfectly okay to put some pieces back and decide later, which is what I'm going to do. All right, these pants, and no, they do not fit me, and they never did fit me. But I picked them up because I really liked the pattern and the way that I wore them. I would cross them over like this and I would pin them on the inside because I really like the pattern of the pants. And you don't always find really nice patterned pants, and it's a black and white, which is one of my favorite prints as well. These pants were up in my closet, folded, and I haven't worn them because it's a hassle. And honestly, when I have to go to the ladies' room, guess what? I have to unpin them, and I don't need that kind of pressure. So these are definitely going. Here's a piece that I call myself saving from the thrift store. It's a vintage piece, but I haven't worn it. It's not exactly my style. Whereas I might have worn this at one point. I'm not excited when I see it. I don't think of multiple looks with it. I don't imagine myself wearing it. So even though it's a vintage piece, I am going to donate this, or I'm going to give this to a friend that could make use of it. One other thing that you can do is you can have a clothing swap. So if you have some friends that also want to curate their closets and they have clothing that no longer works for them, you could get together. Some of the pieces that are no longer serving you could be perfect for someone else. And that's a great way to, have fun during the process. And it's all for free. If you donate the pieces after, then you're also doing something charitable as well. This is a vintage Casual Corner, one of my favorite stores. When I was growing up, I remember Casual Corner. I had to save up money to go to Casual Corner and buy some of their suits and things like that. This coat is incredibly well made. That's another thing about vintage, is that it's so well made, and I think that makes it hard sometimes to give it away, because coats today are not made like this. This is a very warm coat, even though it's not heavy, and I still like it. But do I like it as much as some of my other coats? I have another vintage coat in a similar color, so I'm thinking that I could let this one go. But again, the hard thing about giving away vintage is that what's the likelihood of you finding another one? But then you have to remind yourself that you're really working towards a collection. And if the piece doesn't fit with your collection, with your current style, then it needs to go. This skirt is actually very old, from Zara, multiple years old. And I remember when I first saw it in the store, I was crazy about this skirt. I couldn't wait for it to go on sale. And I did get a lot of wear out of this skirt. Even though it still fits, I don't feel like it's necessarily will fit into this collection that I'm curating. I actually have a gold skirt as well, and I think I like that one better. I'm just moving away from this color palette. There's nothing wrong with the color palette, but it's just not something that I'm all that enthusiastic about. So I'm going to let this skirt go. When you're curating your closet, just because something actually fits, if it doesn't fit your personality, if it doesn't fit the way that you want to present yourself going forward, then it probably doesn't belong in your collection. This skirt is thrifted, and I really liked it at one time. I haven't worn it in quite a while, but I keep holding on to it because it's print, because it's unique. Could I style it? Probably. Have I? No. But then I think about, oh, but I could wear this with boots. I could throw it on with a chunky sweater. It would be great for fall. So I'm going to leave this in the maybe. And I'm going to give myself a chance to wear it again. And if I don't wear it this fall, then it has to go. One more piece. This blouse is, let's see. This is vintage, I believe, Dana B and Karen. And it's a nice blouse. It's colorful. It's got a print, the things that I really love. But I really don't wear it all that often. I mean, I could, but it's something that I bypass in my closet. And one of the things that I guess is a drawback from this blouse is that it's dry clean only. So whenever I wear it, that means not only do I have to pay for it to be dry cleaned, so in essence, I'm continuing to pay for this piece. I have to take the time out and actually go to the dry cleaners as well. So that's an additional cost. Then it's probably a piece that I can let go. So that is the way that I am approaching my closet. I'm really going to focus on creating a closet, a wardrobe that I'm really excited about, that I really like all the pieces that I'm going to make use of them. So that's what I have for you for today. If you've stayed this long, I'd really appreciate it if you would like this video, share it, and also if you would consider subscribing to the channel and sign up for notifications so that you don't miss an upload. Also, I'm on Instagram, so feel free to follow me there, where I have a lot of outfits and tips and tricks that I like to share. So with that, I'll say thank you so much for your time and for your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Should I stand here? Or should I stand here? Okay, is that right? Oh my gosh. Just, maybe you don't do everything the same. Okay, what I want to say. Suck it in and smile. No, that's kind of goofy. And that's it.